This is Caitlin, your host of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. Hello, and welcome back to another episode on the No Sleep for Dramas podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, and we are here to talk about Korean dramas. And we're not looking back at 2025 like we have been for the month of January, but now we're looking into 2026. This is not new. This is a list I've done many times on the blog, and I think this is the second time I've done it on the podcast. I definitely did it for the 2025 K dramas and C dramas that I'm looking forward to. So look forward to my episode in the future for the Chinese dramas I'm excited for in 2026. This episode is all about Korean dramas, and this is where I talk about all the rumored and confirmed Korean dramas for 2026 that I am excited for. If you are curious what I was excited for in 2025, I do have a blog post and podcast episode for that. Spoiler alert, there wasn't a lot. At least in 2026, there is going to be a lot on this episode, and it's also not exhausted. There are many other Korean dramas that either have not been announced or maybe even given a date that I will not be talking about in this episode. So I'm sure there's more out there that I don't even know exist yet. The first episode you'll get in February is for all of the Chinese dramas that I will be talking about and excited for in 2026. I'm sure that will also not be the entire list either, because God knows there's a lot of dramas coming out in 2026 that we are excited for. Now, quick note for these Korean dramas. I have no idea if all of these dramas are going to air in 2026. I put them on the list if they are rumored and or if they have a date. They might be pushed out to 2027. Something might happen and they might not air at all, because that happened even in 2025. So I don't know. This is what we have right now. There are plenty other Korean dramas out there that I am not going to talk about because I am not interested in them. You will see that there is a common genre when it comes to this Korean dramas list, and that should be no surprise to anybody. We have some outliers in this list, but overall there's a common genre, and you will find out pretty quickly what that is. This list is in no particular order. And honestly, I'm surprised with the amount of Korean dramas that are on this list, because with my track record from 2025, I was anticipating not being excited for a lot of Korean dramas in 2026. And I feel like we have a good list here, and there's plenty to be excited for. But again, this list is not the entire list I will be excited for, because that would be a never-ending list, and I will never stop talking if that was the case. In any case, let's get into some of these Korean dramas. This might be a longer episode, it might be a shorter episode, who knows. These are some Korean dramas that are airing or are rumored to air in 2026 that I am looking forward to. If you want to follow along, get the links, maybe get a poster. You do have a blog post up on the blog right now that you can go and check out. It is Anticipated Kdramas of 2026. That is the title. So you can search Anticipated on the blog and find all of my lists from all the years I've done this. First Korean drama I'm going to talk about is Climax. This starts in March, on March 16th. It is an ENA network K-drama, which is the first reason why I'm excited for it, because some of my favorite Korean dramas are of the ENA network. Now, I have no idea where this will air, so maybe I won't be able to watch it. That all depends. Who knows? This stars Joo Ji-hoon, who, if he's part of a cast, I'm automatically excited for it. The rest of the cast look great. They have Ha Ji-won in here, Nana, Oh Jung-se, just to name a few. There's not a lot in the synopsis that is given, other than the fact that Joo Ji-hoon seems to be a prosecutor who decides that he wants to be powerful, and he goes into that rat race of wanting to be powerful, and then along the way he marries Ha Ji-won, who is a top actress at the time. And that's pretty much it. The genres are thriller and mystery. It seems like it probably is going to be a political thriller because he is a prosecutor that wants to become a politician. There's no inkling on why it's thriller mystery. So who knows? Who knows why it's that? But Mainly, I'm excited for it due to the cast. I am curious about the genres of thriller mystery. Ha Ji-won and Ju Ji-hoon seem to be a married couple. Hopefully, we get some romance. And the fact that it's an older couple, they are both in their 40s. If we have a older couple romance, I'm okay with that as well. Political thriller with Ju Ji-hoon. Ju Ji-hoon can't go wrong, really, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Also, if Oh Jun-se is the villain, we already know he plays a really good villain. I'm excited for that as well. Next drama we're going to talk about is Reverse. This is a drama that I actually heard about in 2025 and I thought would air in 2025 as well, but alas, that is not the case. It is supposed to air March of 2026. It stars Seo Ji-hae and Go Soo. Already, that's why I'm excited for it. Seo Ji-hae and Go Soo being a part of the cast is a huge draw for me. I love Go Soo. Again, this is a thriller mystery. Now you know the genres that I'm going to be talking about the most on this list. The synopsis of this, some people might find it interesting, other people might not. Apparently, Seo Ji-hae plays a woman who lost her parents in a mysterious accident when she was a child, and she has lived her life wanting revenge due to this accident. In the present day, she gets involved in a car accident and loses all of her memories. So now she is not only what it sounds like, trying to figure out her memories again, but also apparently still trying to figure out what happened with this accident and maybe discovers something new when it comes to the accident with her parents and thus her accident maybe as well. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a sucker for the amnesia trope when done well. So this could go either way. This could be really bad and be a very bad K-drama, or it could be interesting on the fact that she not only has to figure out her parents' accident, but also now has to figure out her own, as well as regain the memories that she lost. Hopefully, Gosu is a good guy and they team up. I would love to see their chemistry, but I am curious about this one. And the synopsis looks good, at least. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't know where any of these are going to air that I'm going to talk about. We might not be able to watch any of them. Who knows? It depends on where they air and what we get access to. Also, sadly, I think Gosu cut his hair for this drama, so he does not have long hair for this drama anymore, which I'm sad about because he looked great with longer hair. Next K-drama I'm going to discuss. This is a Disney Plus drama, so we might get it on Hulu. We definitely saw it in the preview for Disney that was put out last week before. It is called Goldland. It stars Park Bo-young, Kim Sung-chul. You also have Lee Hyun-wook and Kim Hee-won in it, among other people. It is a thriller mystery about a woman, Park Bo-young, who works as a security screening agent in an airport, and her boyfriend is a pilot. And she somehow gets involved in a smuggling organization and has to receive this gold that is being smuggled into Korea. She becomes obsessed with the gold and thus brings bad people into her life, such as Kim Sung-chul's character, who apparently is a loan shark. And then we have probably a corrupt detective. And then we have gang members being involved as well. That's what we got in terms of the synopsis part of it. It sounds like her character is not really good. It also sounds like nobody is a really good character in this drama, which reminds me of Karma from last year. If you have not gone and watched Karma, please go and do that. It's one of my favorites of the K-dramas that were released in 2025. I'm curious about this drama because Park Bo-young, I have not seen her do a character like this. It seems like her character is very gray and is maybe greedy, maybe not a good person, and I would love to see her act that role. Could be wrong. She could be a really good person and it's not greed. It sounds like she keeps the gold that she finds or is given, and then obviously bad things happen because you're not supposed to keep that type of stuff. Disney Plus for me has a very strong lineup for 2026. I've talked about this before. Disney Plus seems to go down the route of darker crime dramas more than Netflix or more than any of the other networks. So I tend to like Disney Plus dramas a lot because they are in the genres I love a lot. Speaking of genres, this is a thriller, mystery, crime drama as well. Kim Sung-chul seems like he's gonna play a villain, which I love him playing villains. He plays villains very well. And as I said, this kind of reminds me of Karma with there's not a good person, it seems, in this drama. So if I like Karma, I probably will like this as well. Next drama I'm going to talk about probably needs no introduction because I'm sure it's one of the most anticipated Korean dramas of 2026, and that is Perfect Crown. This is rumored for April of 2026. I don't know, guys, about this one. I am interested in this. I do not think I'm as excited about it as other people. And I will tell you why. One, the more hype a drama gets these days, the more I'm not excited for it. I'm really hesitant about this Perfect Crown and the Remarried Empress because I've been let down so many times when it comes to hyped dramas and hyped Korean dramas specifically that I don't want to get my hopes up. I do love the empire king queen idea that we have seen before in Korean dramas, like Lee Min-ho's drama from 2020, 2021, and even further back, they've done this story as well, where it's like a prince marrying a commoner or vice versa. I don't mind that story. I don't mind that trope if it's done well. Things could happen that it's not a good drama either. I'm very hesitant to be excited for this. It has a lot of hype, which worries me. Everybody looks good in this drama. With the teaser, I was not expecting comedy, but it seems like we do have comedy in this. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to watch this one or not. This is a maybe, but I wanted to talk about it because it looks good. It looks like it is high budget. It has a good cast. I will also say the episodes for this K-drama are supposed to be an hour and a half long, which is also another turnoff for me because I can't stand the hour and a half episodes. I can't stand that. It's a movie, people. That is a movie per episode. But the cast looks great. The teaser looks great from Disney. I'm on the fence about this one. I like the look of it. I'm excited for it, but I doubt I'm as excited as some other people, especially with the cast, like the leads. I like IU. I also like Byung Won Suk, but they're not like my favorites ever. I'm actually more interested in some of the supporting cast more than the leads, which is hilarious, like Steve No or Gong Sung Yoon. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I think also the comedy in the teaser threw me off because I wasn't expecting comedy, and you know me, I'm a little iffy on the comedy. I still wanted to talk about this because I am interested in it. I wouldn't say I'm like overly excited or hyped about it as some other people are. Scarecrow is the next Korean drama that I'm excited for, and I will tell you why. Scarecrow is a crime Korean drama that is supposedly out in April. It is also from the ENA network. What I am most excited for about this is Park Hae-soo and Lee Hee-jun are teaming up once again for a crime drama. This is now their third crime drama they've done together, maybe fourth. What's unique about this one is they're actually teaming up. For example, Park Hae-soo and Lee Hee-jun were both in Karma from last year, but they weren't working together. They weren't teaming up. If anything, they were enemies. They also did Chimera from a couple years back, which is also a fantastic crime Korean drama if you have not seen it. But I think this is the first time they're actually not enemies. I could be wrong. I don't quite remember their relationship in Chimera, but seems like with Scarecrow, they are teaming up to find a bad guy. So there's a third bad guy that they're finding. Whereas it's not Park Hae-soo's the bad guy and Lee Hee-jun is hunting him down or something. Park Hae-soo plays Kang Tae-ju, who is a police officer who returns back to his hometown looking for a serial killer. And then Lee Hee-jun is a prosecutor who reunites with Park Hae-soo's character while searching for this same serial killer. I like both of these actors, especially when it comes to the crime genre. I think they excel in this genre, in my opinion. The setting being a small town out in the country, a trope I love, especially with crime dramas. I'm very excited for Scarecrow. We are going to have a change of pace now. I'm going to talk about what looks like a comedy drama, but I will explain why I'm excited for this one. It revolves around food. This is called The Legend of Kitchen Soldier. It stars Park Ji-hoon, Yoon Kyun-ho, which you'll recognize from Trauma Code of last year, Han Dong-hee. You might recognize Lee Sang-yi, apparently has a guest role in this. Lee Hung-nae, who I love. He has a support role, and then Jung Won-in is also a support role. This K-drama is supposed to air in May 2026, and why am I excited for this? It apparently is a food drama. It is about Park Ji-hoon, who is a soldier, and he is transferred into this new unit, and he is trained in the training center, and due to his family's background of his father owning a food truck, he has kitchen skills, so he is assigned to the cafeteria kitchen. What is unique about this is not only is it a food drama, but it also apparently is a video game fantasy drama because he apparently gets access to this cooking game, this hologram cooking game. Unclear if he's the only one who can see it or not. But the more he completes quests in this cooking hologram game, his cooking skills improve. That sounds like a really fun time. Sounds like a comedy. It will be a different type of thing to see Park Ji-hoon doing this drama. So that's a different change of pace. That's kind of a different genre outside of the crime drama. But I'm excited for especially the idea of a hologram game surrounded by food. Manager Kim is the next K-drama I'm going to mention. I saw a preview of this during one of the Korean award shows. I think it was SBS award show. This is supposed to be out maybe in June. It stars So Ji-sub, Choi Dae-hoon, Yoon Kyung-ho, Ju Sang-wook, among others. This reminds me of the Liam Neeson movie, Taken, just a little differently. The trailer for this looks so good. After Mercy for None, So Ji-sub doing action dramas, sign me up. So Ji-sub plays a former spy, and apparently his daughter goes missing. Now, the reason why I say it reminds me of Taken, but might not be actually Taken, is we don't know why she is missing. We don't know if she was actually kidnapped or taken, like the movie, or she got into something and went missing herself. Father, Soji Sub, is looking for her and is a former spy. There are some similarities when it comes to Taken, in my opinion. Of course, his daughter has no idea he was a former spy, just like Taken. And I'm sure he teams up with at least Yoo Kyung-ho, but I think Cho Dae-hoon he also teams up with as former spies together to find his daughter. I'm excited for this. Soji Sub beating people up again. One of my favorite K-dramas of 2025 was Mercy for None. So to watch him again beat up people and be this super cool spy hunting down the people who may have taken his daughter, or at least trying to find his daughter, sign me up for this. For sure. The Second Signal. Now, I wanted to mention this K-drama. I have no idea if it's actually going to air or not due to the controversy it has now, but I would be remiss not to mention it because we've been waiting so long for it. I'm still going to talk about The Second Signal, but I honestly have no clue if this is actually going to air in 2026, let alone if it's going to air at all. If you do not know what The Second Signal is, this is the season 2 of Signal, which is a classic, everybody should watch crime Korean drama that stars Lee Jae-hoon, Kim Hae-soo, and Jo Jin-won. It would be Lee Jae-hoon, Kim Hae-soo, and Jo Jin-won reuniting and thus continuing the story from Signal Season 1, which we have been waiting for 10 years now for. This is one of my most anticipated K-dramas of this year, but God knows what is going to happen with this, and I hope they figure out a way to air it. Will it be the same? I don't know, because I don't know what they might have to do to get it to air, or they just won't air it. I have no idea. But I really want it to air, and that's why it's going to be one of my more anticipated. We don't know much about this drama other than the fact it's season 2. We don't know the story. Other than the 3 leads, An Jae-han has joined the cast, and then we have Sun Hyo-ju and Jo Woo-jin as cast as well. It is unclear what they are doing who they are. I'm assuming some of them are gonna play other police officers. I'm praying this airs. But on the other hand too, if they have to cut a bunch of stuff, do we want it at the same time? I don't know. I'm so conflicted. But I would be sad not to mention the second single because it is one of my more anticipated dramas of 2026, at least K-dramas. Next Korean drama I'm gonna talk about is one I had no idea was gonna come out until Disney released their previews for 2026. This is called The Husband. It's supposed to air around July. It stars Nam Kyung-min, Lee Sol, Kim Dae-myung, Cho Yoon-so as some of the cast members. Nam Kyung-min and Lee-sol are the 2 leads. Apparently, it is Nam Kyung-min's character. He is a former neurosurgeon turned hospital director, and he is on the verge of divorce with Lee-sol, his wife, soon to be ex-wife, and he all of a sudden has to hunt down a dangerous criminal who has kidnapped his wife before they can divorce. Obviously, this reminds you of When the Phone Rings. I don't know if it's going to be the same concept or anything like that, but I loved When the Phone Rings up to a certain point. So if it's that same kind of concept, I'm all here for it. I'm all here. I love the idea of a couple refinding their romance through crisis. So this speaks volumes for me because it's a couple on the verge of divorce who now have to figure out, at least the husband has to find his wife again. Nam Kyung-min can be in a drama wearing a cardboard box, and I would be excited for him. I love him as an actor. I've seen many of his dramas. I also have not seen many of his famous dramas like My Dearest, which I really need to get on and watch. I need this K-drama to be thrilling. I need it to have a steamy romance. I need it to have a good ending. I have high hopes for this Korean drama, and I'm really trying not to. I also am praying we get access to it because it is a Disney Plus drama. We'll have to wait and see, but that was The Husband. Another drama I have high hopes for, which I probably shouldn't have because I love the movie it is based off of, so I probably have expectations it's probably not gonna meet. This is Chilling Romance. It is supposed to air in July. It is a remake of the classic Korean movie Spellbound, one of my favorite Korean movies of all time. I probably am very biased when it comes to that movie, along with what is this Korean drama going to be, because I can't tell you how many times I have seen this Korean movie. I've seen it so many times, I pretty much have it memorized, which probably when you watch this movie, you're gonna be like, "Caitlin loves this movie, what are you talking about?" Probably be very surprised I love Spellbound. Anyway, the movie stars Sung Ye-jin and Lee Min-ki. They are the main couple. The drama version stars Young Se-jung and Park Yeon-bin. Now, they have made changes from the movie to the dramas. It's not a like scene by scene remake. The characters are even different already, even from the description when it comes to the Korean drama. The movie is about a street magician who meets this girl and she ends up inspiring his magic show to be like this horror magic show, and he becomes this very successful magician. The woman comes back into his life and starts working as an extra on his show, but something seems really off with her, right? She ends up telling him eventually that she can see ghosts. That is why she seems really weird. And during their whole interaction and him trying to help her, they end up having this romance. Again, I'm not trying to like reveal too much about the Korean movie, but that's the gist. You get the idea, right? K-drama sounds like it's going to be completely different. Maybe it's not really a remake. Maybe it's like inspired by the movie, but the K-drama is an investigative romance drama about Park Yeon-bin's character, who is this hotel heiress who can see ghosts, and then this prosecutor played by Young Se-jung who team up with her. She seems to be living in this hotel and just gets visited by ghosts in these hotels, and this prosecutor has all of these unsolved cases that I'm assuming he eventually comes to her for help to solve. Not really anything like Spellbound, as you can hear from my description, but I'm curious to see why they said this was at least a remake. Maybe only inspired by Spellbound. I don't know. Apparently, this was marketed as a remake of Spellbound, so who knows? Who knows if that's actually the case, but the fact that it still involves ghosts, I'm still here for it. Park Hyun Bin and Young Se Jung being part of the cast, I'm curious about their pairing. I have not seen Ye Se Jung in a drama in a very long time, partly due to military service, but I'm curious about their pairing. I'm curious about him in this drama that is chilling romance. The next K drama I'm going to talk about will remind you of a different K drama, and I will tell you why that gets me very excited for this K drama. From making this list and everything, this probably has shot up to one of my most anticipated Korean dramas of the year. Hopefully, it sticks the landing and is very good. The next K drama I'm going to talk about is Married Woman Killer. This is based off of a webtoon. The story to me sounds like a different version of Flower of Evil. And if you guys know anything about me from the podcast, blog, anything, you will know how much I love Flower of Evil. I have a review of this on my podcast. I have a review of this on the Daybach Jess's podcast. I have a review of this on the K3's podcast. Like, I've seen Flower of Evil so many times and I love it. Now, it's not a story by story, plot point by plot point remake, but it has familiar signs of it being similar. Married Woman Killer stars Jung Ho Jin and Jung Jun Won. They play a married couple. Jung Ho Jin has been married to the male lead Jung Jun Won for 5 years, and they have a daughter. Apparently, Jung Ho Jin is a secret assassin. She is hired to assassinate other criminals, and she is a sniper. Her husband is a reporter who has no idea this is his wife's job or was his wife's job. And he is assigned to investigate this sniper one day at his job. If that reminds you of Flower of Evil, I don't know what does. Granted, obviously in Flower of Evil, it's the wife who is the cop who is investigating eventually her husband for various reasons. And obviously, at some points in Flower of Evil, he is suspected to be a killer. In this one, she is actually an assassin. Like, it's not like she's a suspected to be an assassin or suspected to be a killer. Apparently, according to the synopsis, she's actually an assassin, and her husband now has to investigate her and her killings that she has done as this assassin. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I hope they do the romance part of this well, because Flower of Evil, what I loved about Flower of Evil, I think is a really good gateway K drama for people is it not only is a crime drama, but it also has a really good romance in it. So I hope they also do that same combination well with Married Woman Killer. Apparently, this is the same director as Flower of Evil as well. I've never thought of this pairing for the lead actors as them as a married couple. I have not seen the male lead in anything but support roles. I'm really curious what he's going to do with this lead role. Of course, Young Ho Jin, I've seen her in a lot of stuff. Really curious about this one. I'm very excited for that. And that was Married Woman Killer. Dr. X. The long name is Dr. X Age of the White Mafia. It is actually a remake of a popular, very popular Japanese drama series that has like 7 seasons, which I found out is all on Amazon Prime. So if you want to go watch that Japanese drama series, they are all there on Amazon Prime, at least in the US. This is a dark crime Korean drama, not like Hyperknife, because Hyperknife was like an underground surgeon situation. This is about an unconventional surgeon who is fighting a unjust medical system. So she is a traveling surgeon, apparently, and goes to these various hospitals. At least in the Japanese drama, she's a traveling surgeon. So she goes to a hospital, stays there for a season, figures out corruption or some weird case or something, and then moves on. Granted, Dr. X, in terms of Korean drama, we only are getting 1 season as far as we know. So she enters this hospital and apparently finds something wrong with it. It's not clear what. It stars Kim Ji-won, Lee Jung-yoon, Sung Hyun-joo, among others. And Kim Ji-won is this genius surgeon. She's a part of this apparently doctor placement agency, and she is placed in this university hospital. And she shows her surgeon skills and exposes something in the medical field when it comes to this hospital, or at least maybe the medical system in Korea in general. Who knows? Sung Hyun Ju is the director of the hospital. Maybe they butt heads or work together. And then Kim Woo Suk is an intern that she apparently works with. I think Lee Jung Eun from the trailer, if I remember correctly, she also stars in this drama, and I think she's like either another doctor or is a director or something in the hospital. I remember her in the trailer, and I love Lee Jung Hoon. The cast alone draws me to this. This is seems like a darker role for Kim Ji-won. Anyway, that is Dr. X Age of the White Mafia. I'm now very curious to watch the J-drama as well. It's older too. The J-drama is older. It ran from like 2011 to 2018 or something. Has like 7 seasons. It's really long. Also sparked some movies, which you can watch on Amazon Prime. Apparently, it was a very popular Japanese drama series. Crash Season 2 is rumored for November 2026. I loved season 1, so of course I'm gonna watch season 2. If you have not watched Crash season 1, it's on Hulu, Disney Plus. Please go and check it out. In my opinion, it's an underrated crime K-drama. Not a lot of people watched it, not a lot of people talked about it. It was one of my favorites when it aired. I quite enjoyed season 1, so I'm looking forward to season 2. You have a lot of people coming back from season 1, like even Ki, Kwak Sun Young, Hae Sung Tae, and then Jisung from NCT is apparently joining this season. And he has not done a drama as an adult. He did some bit roles as kid, like young kid. But that was just announced 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe a week ago. But he's joining the cast for season 2. I personally would advise people to go and watch season 1 before you check out season 2. Not necessarily from a plot perspective, but there's a lot that happens or that is revealed about the characters in season 1, like their back history, that you might need to know for season 2. I'm not saying you do need to know it because obviously I haven't seen season 2 of Crash yet, but you might need to know it. There's also some returning cast members, obviously. I might be biased because season 1 was really good and not a lot of people watched it, and I need people to go and watch it. This is a Disney Plus, maybe Hulu drama. We'll have to wait and see if this actually shows up anywhere. But Crash is actually an ENA network drama. Shout out to ENA network again. I love that network so much for Korean dramas. Marble of God is an upcoming Korean drama, supposedly coming in December. So we have to wait pretty much a whole year. Now, I think I heard about this a while ago, mainly just the plot. I don't think I heard anything about who was in it or anything, and that is what got me interested in this drama. If you know anything about me, one of my favorite Chinese drama series, still ongoing, is the Lost Tomb series or the Candle in the Tomb series. Both very, very classic, very famous Chinese drama series, all about tomb raiding and adventure and crossing the world to do some treasure hunting and things like that. Marble of God gives me those tomb raiding adventure vibes, but set in historical Korea. Apparently, it's about a group of people who are tasked with finding these sacred relics in historical Korea. Now, me personally, I am very iffy when it comes to Korean historicals. Sometimes I like them and sometimes I don't. But if this is potentially a treasure hunting, tomb raiding story, that is what piques my interest more than the setting of it all. There's also a lot of actors and actresses in this cast who I have not seen in a K-drama in a bit, like Claudia Kim and Yu Kyung Sang. This also stars An Bo Hyun, Lee Sung Min, Ha Yu Kyung, just to name a few. But again, it is an historical Korean drama that is about finding sacred relics. It's just an interesting concept. I don't know if it's based off of anything like a manhwa, but that piqued my interest, mainly due to the plot. The East Palace. Now, the East Palace I have talked about before because it was supposed to air in 2025, but it got delayed. I think this is the drama that had the set catch up on fire, if I'm not mistaken, when it was filming. So they had to rebuild the set and then film again. Could be wrong, but I think the East Palace is that set that happened. I think the news article came out in 2025 as they were filming. If it is, it was delayed because they had to rebuild stuff and film stuff again. This was revealed in the Netflix preview that came out, I think last week, the week before, basically around the same time Disney Plus released its preview, and it looks good. It looks high production. It's probably one of my most anticipated Korean dramas just from the stills that we got and the tiny preview we got, but also the idea and the plot too is what drew me the first time. It's a ghost supernatural drama again. It stars Nam Joo-hyuk, Ro Yoon-seo, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and Cho Seung-woo. I love Cho Seung-woo. I will watch him in anything, especially since Stranger. Now, this seems to be a action historical. Other genres are horror fantasy, so it might be a little scary. Apparently, you have this palace, and the king, played by Cho Sung-woo, hires Nam Joo-hyuk and Ro Yoon-seo to investigate this curse that is in this palace, where apparently the crown prince lives. Now, why did he hire him? Nam Joo-hyuk has this sword that can kill ghosts, and then Ro Yoon-seo plays a court lady who has the ability to hear ghosts. Not see ghosts, but maybe hear ghosts. So they team up and investigate this palace. It's 8 episodes. The stills from this look dark, they look creepy, it looks high budget. I am so excited for this drama. So excited. That apparently is going to come out sometime in 2026. All right, the next drama I'm going to talk about, I'll be honest, I was not very excited for it until I saw the trailer slash photos released because the cast did not do anything for me. I don't hate anybody in this cast. I don't even dislike anybody in this cast, but it's nobody that will like, oh my God, I need to check this out, except maybe some of the support roles. Like Hyo Jun-ho, I love him. He's a fantastic actor, especially in the crime genre. This is a historical mystery horror fantasy starring Bae Suzy and Kim Sung-ho. Again, I don't mind either one of them, but they're not my favorite either. This is Portraits of Delusion. The trailer that Disney released for this and the stills that it has released is what piqued my interest for this. I'm guessing vampire. That is what I'm guessing. They are unclear, like, they have not said that outright, but it is about a man played by Kim Sun-ho, who is a painter, and he is commissioned to paint a portrait of Bae Suzy. She is the female lead, who is this woman who has not been seen in public for very, very long time, like half a century long. And so she has all these rumors. So he goes and tries to paint a picture of her, and she owns this hotel, and she's just this mysterious figure. And he meets her, he ends up meeting her, and something happens. I mean, there's not much to go on other than they meet and something happens, and he apparently was commissioned to paint her. I have not read the webtoon or anything like that, so I don't know much about this. The stills and the trailer is what made me interested in this. Some of the support cast, as I said, also drew my interest. The other thing that drew my interest is it is written by the same person who wrote Dr. Brain, which is a fantastic Korean drama from 2021. I recommend you guys go and check that out. But that was Portraits of Delusion, premiering sometime in 2026. Mousetrap was also revealed by Netflix in their upcoming 2026 preview. I had never heard of this drama until it was in that preview. It stars Roon Jun-yul and Seo Kyung-gu. And I'll be honest, between Disney and Netflix, not a lot of dramas, not a lot of K-dramas from Netflix really caught my interest. But Mousetrap, which is the drama I'm talking about now, was one of them that did look interesting to me. It's a crime Korean drama, so be no surprise why I'm excited for this. The concept of this drama is what drew my interest. Just imagine you have this elusive criminal that no one has never seen who steals your identity, and you have no way to prevent it and no way to catch the guy. You just discover that your identity has been stolen. And then on top of that, you have your identity stolen and you have the bright idea to team up with the loan shark who you owe money to and who you've been hiding from for the past 3 years to help you find this guy. That just seems nuts to me. And that is basically the synopsis for Mousetrap. Rujun Yul is a guy who has his identity stolen, and he decides to team up with his loan shark, who also seems to be running a PI agency, to find the guy. That's what MDL tells me it is. They team up and try to find this guy who apparently stole his identity. We'll have to wait and see what this is, but that seems like an interesting concept for me, and that was Mousetrap. Road is another drama that showed up in the Netflix preview. I, again, had never heard of it until then. It is a crime drama. It is also one of those Korean-Japanese crossover dramas, and this time it is a crime drama. It is not a romance drama. It stars Sun Soo-kyu, Nagayami Aita, and then some of the supporting cast is Kim Shin-rook and Jung Jae-young. The casting of Sun Soo-kyu and Kim Shin-rook and Jung Jae-young already intrigued me. I mean, Jung Jae-young has not done a drama in years. I'm curious what made him sign up for this one. Nagayama Aita, I have never seen this guy in a lead role. I've only seen him in guest roles when it comes to dramas. I'm curious what he's gonna look like. This looks like a darker crime drama, maybe not as dark as Mousetrap, but it's a crime drama nonetheless. We've seen like the crossover Korean Japanese drama when it comes to romance. Now I'm curious what that will look like in a crime drama version because, in my opinion, Korea and Japan do crime dramas very differently, at least aesthetic wise. I'm curious how that will look in a crime drama. Now, from the preview, looks like the two cops played by Nagayama Aita and Sun Soo-kyu hate each other at the beginning of this drama. Like, you literally have a scene where Nagayama Aita has Sun Soo-kyu in a chokehold in the trailer. I'm really curious how their relationship is going to build and progress in the drama, but apparently they are two cops investigating a cross-border Japan-Korea serial killer. So that's why they team up in Road. The Remarried Empress. This is another drama that probably needs no introduction. It is also the same case when it comes to Perfect Crown, where I'm scared for this drama as well, because it is another hyped up Korean drama that I hope to God is good, and I hope to God sticks the landing and lives up to the hype, because ever since it was announced this was a hyped drama, because it is based off of a very popular webtoon. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this. Now, why am I interested in this? One, have you seen the stills from this Korean drama? It also was featured in the Disney preview clip, and my God, everybody, the cast looks so good in this. Ju Ji-hoon, again, big draw for me for this drama as well. Now, it is a little different. Apparently, we have Ju Ji-hoon and Shin Min-ah. They are a married couple. They are king and queen of this empire. Again, we have another monarchy empire idea when it comes to 2026. Seems to be a popular genre in 2026. Ju Ji-hoon's character comes home with a mistress and decides that he wants to take her as a concubine, even though he promised Shin Min-ah that he would never take a concubine. He decides he's going to divorce her to marry his mistress. And apparently, instead of accepting this divorce and just going away into hiding, Shin Min-ah decides she's just going to go marry this other guy, this prince from a different kingdom. Apparently, there is some fantasy involved in this. I have not read the webtoon. The prince, played by Lee Jun-suk, can transform into a bird, which we kind of saw in the preview for Disney Plus. I don't know how that's going to play into the fact in this drama at all, but it looks extremely high budget for one. That preview looks so high budget. Everybody looks amazing in this drama. I'm a little worried with the hype, because just the track record when it comes to hype and K-dramas, at least from 2025 and even 2024, at least for me, did not connect. I was not excited for the ones that were hyped, and the ones even I had high expectations for did not pass for me. I did not like them as much as I thought I would in the recent years, and I know 2025 is probably an outlier year for me, but either way, it has me worried. But the stills look great, the trailer looks great, the budget is insane. The cast looks great, the costumes, the set, they did a lot with this drama. Also, I love that the entire cast, at least the leads, are older. They're all in their 30s and 40s. I love that. I love when we have romance of older adults. So that was The Remarried Empress. I am trying not to have high expectations for this, but it's hard. It's hard, especially with already the amount of talk we have because it's a popular web novel and there's already a lot of talk with it. I'm curious. I'm curious about that one. I'm curious what's going to happen with that. Next one also needs no introduction. A Shop for Killers Season 2. It is going to premiere sometime in 2026. I pray to God with any of these Disney Plus dramas that we will see them on Hulu internationally and they don't keep them in Korea or even Asia. We'll have to wait and see. If you have not watched A Shot for Killers Season 1, do yourself a favor and go and watch it. It is one of the best crime Korean dramas I've watched. It was one of my favorite Korean dramas of 2024. I am very excited for season 2, and I really, really hope season 2 lives up to my expectations because we had a lot of questions at the end of season 1 that need answers. And I'm excited to see the gang back together, which is hilarious. What I'm most excited for season 2 is actually to see Lee Dum-wook on my screen being this assassin he is supposed to be. Because we all know what happened in season 1. I don't want to do spoilers, but it was a crime how little we saw Lee Dum-wook in season 1. Also, season 1 had one of the best villains, in my opinion. I would love to see him more in season 2. I'm also curious who else will come out of the woodwork when it comes to villains in season 2. I'm just curious about the story of season 2 because there's a lot of directions you could go. But I also think we need some backstory from season 1 that we didn't see in season 1, so hopefully they show that in season 2. I don't know. It's very unclear what season 2's story is gonna be about, but this is definitely one of my anticipated Korean dramas of 2026 for sure. If Wishes Could Kill is another drama I had no idea existed until the Netflix preview. This reminds me of K-dramas like Night Has Come, for example. If you have not seen the K-drama Night Has Come and you like those thriller high school survival K-dramas, I would highly recommend that one. All of Us Are Dead season 1, also really good. This is a Netflix high school set drama called If Wishes Could Kill. It stars a lot of people I don't recognize, except maybe Jung Soo-ni, who it sounds like an actress playing an older sister of one of the leads. It also has Kan Mi-na, who I recognize, but I don't recognize a lot of the other people in this, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with, because that means I get introduced to other people. It's about a group of people in high school who all get this app on their phone. Apparently, it's cursed, and this app grants any wish if you upload a video saying what that wish is. But they find out really quickly that there is a huge and probably deadly cost to your wish. So, in my interpretation, you put up a wish, but your wish is granted, but in a really weird and deadly way. So, there's a price to this wish. And now these people who have used the app have to figure out a way to get rid of the app, to fight against the app, maybe uncover the truth behind the app, something to do with this app. Now, I am not one who usually watches high school K-dramas anymore. I just don't think I'm the age demographic for them, especially when it comes to romance. But I do love a good high school drama when it comes to thriller, crime, zombies, those types of genres set in high school. I love them. For example, as I said, Night Has Come. Night Has Come is about a group of students who get trapped in a building and they have to play mafia. But obviously, with mafia, they start getting killed in the game. For real. This kind of has the same concept to me. So it's a survival high school drama, and I'm very excited for it. And I didn't know anything about it until last week. There's 3 more K-dramas that I'm going to talk about. Teach You a Lesson is an upcoming Netflix Korean drama. Had a little bit of controversy when it was announced that it was going to be made because apparently the webtoon it is based off of is controversial as well. So it gives me a little pause on being excited for this because in the webtoon, they have some very controversial storylines that apparently they eliminated from the drama, but we'll have to wait and see. This is a Netflix drama starring Kim Moo-yul, who is the titular lead. Also stars Lee Sang-min, Jin Ki-ju, P.O., and Ha Young. It is about Kim Moo-yul's character who is part of this agency, I guess, and he goes into these schools, it's multiple schools, and he apparently protects teachers, I guess, because the agency he is about is called Teachers' Rights. And so the synopsis on MDL, I'm just going to read this little part. It tells the story of students, parents, and teachers in a society where teachers' rights have fallen due to students who cross the line, parents who don't know the line, and teachers who draw the line. It's about the concept where there are people who come in who are not afraid of these bully students and they properly teach students, or at least maybe even get revenge. I don't know. Whoever hires them to do that. Right? Kim Moo-yul is the person who goes in and apparently gets revenge or gets these students in tip-top shape and not be bullies anymore. I don't know. Apparently, the webtoon is very violent, and this being a Netflix show, I would probably say it's going to be violent as well. Of course, it is probably about bullying. Maybe it's teachers bullying students, or if it's students bullying teachers. I feel like that's kind of unique because it sounds like it's going to be a teacher going in and getting revenge on the students who are bullying the teachers in the school. We have not seen that. At least for me, I have not seen that. Maybe Taxi Driver is the one storyline we kind of saw that in, but overall, I've never seen a bullying concept where it's a teacher getting revenge on students for other teachers being bullied. And apparently, he doesn't go into just one school, it's multiple schools, and he just travels around doing this. Sounds very violent, and I'm sure the manhwa or the webtoon is very violent. Apparently, it's controversial for some of the storyline and maybe even some of the dialogue I've read. Like they said the N word, I guess, but apparently it's been removed. They didn't do those scenes or even didn't add those characters that did that and took a whole storyline out. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm excited due to the unique concept of the bullying part, and also the cast looks really good, so that's why this is on this list. Dead End Job. Again, another drama I had no idea was even coming out until Netflix released their preview. It stars Lee Jae-wook, Go Min-shi, Kim Min-ah, Lee Hee-jun, Yoon Kyung-ho, Choi Hyun-wook, among others. This sounds scary. Is it based off a webtoon? I don't know if it's based off a webtoon. I don't know. The trailer, the mini teaser we got in the Netflix preview, along with just the description, sounds horror, more on the horror side. It stars EJ Wook, who plays a man who gets this part-time job that seems too good to be true. And then he finds out why it seems too good to be true. I am not one for horror, but I will say Korea does ghosts and supernatural very well, in my opinion. The cast for this is a huge draw for me. I love Lee Jae-wook, Go Min-shi, Kim Min-ah, a lot of the people involved. We don't know a lot when it comes to the plot of this, but I'm glad about that because I feel like there would be major spoilers if you reveal too much about this plot. All we know so far is EJ Wook's character gets this part-time job that seems too good to be true, and then finds out why, because he encounters this phenomenon that is apparently terrifying. And then we have Go Min-shi, who is an investigator trying to figure out the truth behind this job and why it's scary and pays so well. They might team up. I don't know. Last but certainly not least, and also needs no introduction because it is my favorite Korean drama of 2025. We are getting Study Group Season 2 apparently this year. Not much is known about this other than Hwan Min-hyun is back, Ha Ji-yoon and Hong Min-ki are also back in the cast. Hopefully they get everybody else back because I want to see the gang together again. But I love this drama from 2025, so there's no surprise why I'm excited for season 2. I hope that they keep the manhwa feel with the fighting. I hope they keep the comedy and violent part and have a good balance with them like they just did with season 1. Apparently, they haven't even started filming this yet. They should start filming soon, and they're doing casting calls now. They haven't even gotten the full cast back or even at least announced who's in the cast. Hopefully, this actually comes out in 2026, but it's unsure at this point right now. That was Study Group Season 2, and that is the last Korean drama on my anticipated Korean dramas of 2026. We'll see what ones I end up checking out. We'll see which ones I'm excited for. Also, you might have noticed that I started out in March because, and I don't know if I explained this at the beginning, I already talked about the January K dramas I was excited for in my December wrap up post. And next week, I'll be talking about the February K dramas I'm excited for. So I figured it would be redundant to put them in this drama if I'm already going to talk about them. So that is why this list started in March. Also, this is not an exhausted list of all the Korean dramas I'm excited for. I'm sure there's ones I don't even know exist yet that will come out, will be announced, will be released. So I'm sure there's going to be more added to the list of K-dramas I'm excited for, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let me know in the comments if you're excited for any of the Korean dramas I'm excited for, if you are excited for ones I did not mention. As you can see, thriller, crime, action are the genres that dominated this list. I'm sure there are plenty of romance K-dramas that you guys are excited for that are not on this list. I know there is. Let me know some of your favorites that you're excited for. Did some of your favorites make my list? Did some not? Let me know. And look forward to my anticipated C dramas episode in February that I'll release. Thank you for listening to another episode on the No Sleep for Dramas podcast. If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky under the username No Sleep for Dramas. That is No Sleep, the number 4 dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.nosleepfordramas.com, the number 4 dramas.com, and find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. Finally, please give this podcast a like or a follow wherever you listen to the podcast. Leaving a comment or a review also helps a lot. We love hearing ideas and feedback from all of you. Share the podcast with your friends as well. Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.